Hello everyone and welcome to today's Facebook Live. Ask me anything about customizing your website. So today we're going to be focusing on the website builder itself, how you can customize your website and go ahead and start planning, if you haven't for the holidays, but also for the next year. What are you planning on doing for your website? Maybe you want to add some more, flourishes to it. Maybe you haven't really touched your website in a while, or maybe you just want to see what is possible with the PhotoBiz builder. We're going to look at that today, see what you can do, and just see what things that we can build within the website. So I'm really excited to showcase that and showcase some new features and functionalities that are in the platform itself, especially when it comes to the website builder, such as the new font engine updates and some other options like building pages, building social trees. So if you try to create things like that for your Instagram accounts and things like that, so people can land there and you can have better SEO optimized functionalities for your pages. So I'm going to take a look at that in a moment, but if you have any questions or comments, please leave in the comment section. We want to know what you're working on, what struggles that you have, what can we do to improve where you're at. That's what we can do. And if we even have time and if you really want us to, we can actually jump in on your website and make those modifications right then and there live. So let's give some people some time to settle in and we'll get started. Again, today is about customizing your website. We want to talk about the functionality that was within the website builder without having to create a lot of customization through like special coding or anything like that. What can you do to your website to really make it uniquely yours during this time? That's what we're going to look at today. So there's a bunch of brand new things in the PhotoBiz 9 builder itself that you might not know about, like dual build options and some of the new font engine options. So you can really customize it, and it's going to be even more further options coming down the way that are really exciting. So what are you working on right now for your website? And if you want to, we can take a look at your website live today, see what we can do to make improvement wise, and go from there. So I'm going to give a few more minutes and then we'll get started. And before we get started, if you haven't checked it out yet, check out our blog.photobiz.com. You can see tons of articles there that'll be able to help you understand how to utilize the tools within your system when it comes to marketing, when it comes to building your website, and so much more. One of the things that we did recently update is the Getting Started with PhotoBiz guide. So if you're just getting started with us, you want to know more about how you can utilize your website and getting it up and going, this is a great functionality you can take a look at. This will walk you through how you get used to your dashboard, all the tools and functionalities within it, your checklist, and there's some great walkthrough videos that'll help you get started as soon as possible. So it goes from choosing a template to actually looking at other functionalities like modifying the blocks and customizing the global settings. So you're going to learn a lot about that today in the hands-on functionality of this little web video today, what we're showcasing live. But if you ever need help, you want to learn more about things, you can go through this article step by step and it can help you build and get online in no time. Heck, you might already have your website going, but you didn't know about the SEO functionality. Well, this will walk you through setting that up as well. So lots of great features and tools. Check out all our guides at photobiz.com or blog.photobiz.com and then click on the guides and you can see all the guides that we have available. Really great and helpful to help you set up pretty much anything. So if you need help with the scheduler, invoicing, what the dual build function is, and that's something that we're going to focus today on with the customization, ways you can dual build within the website to really create some cool and customization right then and there. So you can even make things look more editorial than ever been before. So really excited about these updates. If you haven't checked them out, check them out today. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on in and get going. So again, if you have any questions, please leave in the comment section. We'll take a look at it as we go. I want to be able to help you build your website the most pristine way possible with all the new tools and functionalities available. When you go in and you log in for the first time to PhotoBiz, you're going to see right away, this is your dashboard. And we're going to go into the website builder. Maybe you hadn't done it in a while, maybe you've never done it, maybe you are familiar with it. When you click here, you're going to click on the website in the left side menu. This is a website that we've been playing with for the last couple months. It's very easy to look at. Let's take a look at it right now. And here it is. We've made a few slight adjustments to it, and I'm going to talk about those adjustments in just a moment so you can see what we've done. But you can see we've got some stuff. Let's just do a little cleanup here. Let's throw some of these galleries into some bins and stuff so they're just kind of out of the way. So I'm just going to throw them in here, shorten this up. That way we have a nice little design going on. Less is more, right? Okay, so refresh. Yeah, kid. There we go. You can see that here's our menu items, and we need to work on this website. Let's get it nice and polished. So right away, if you've never messed with the builder itself, here's all the main functionalities. Here is the navigation. This is all the pages of your website are going to be right on here on the side. And then, of course, the block or the blocks over here. All these blocks are easy to customize with. So if you're building something already here, all you have to do is just add a block by either dragging and dropping where you want it to go. And one of my favorite functionalities is once you put it in there, you'll see it. But you can also put certain items side by side. This is the dual build functionality. So if I was to put that here, I could put it there. You can mix and match where you want things to go. You can break them all apart and just make them stack vertically, but you can also have some that go side by side. And this is really helpful. So this is part of that dual build option that I'm talking about. So you can see these blocks are functional for dual build. So that'll be the text editor, text plus image, image blocks, the banner blocks, list item blocks, video, forms, buttons, and HTML blocks. They all work together, and you can create really unique looks like this. So if you're wanting to create something that's really, got multiple banners, here's 5 banners with different looks. We can really customize some stuff today, and we'll do that so you can kind of see what this look can look like. But you can also have multiple blocks right here. Here's a left banner side block with a form block next to it right here. You can see this one right here is a title next to a text with a solid color. So you can really come up with some cool customization. And I always recommend when you're trying to come up with the way you want to look at something, I just make a quick sketch. The idea here for this one was let's have a video, call to action with some storytelling, some images, and some more little story right here. And you can see we kind of drew it out and we built it all here inside the block builder. So you can really customize some really cool looks. You can do split banners, ones that have like an image kind of underneath with some color over top with some text. And you can have this one with a rotating banner on the side. You can also create really cool pictorials like this. So a big banner here and then an image gallery here set to squared off. So you can really create some cool polished looks. And here's another one with a big banner on the side and the form builder block right next to it. So think about some options when it comes to how you want to build your website. Again, here's another layout style. This is a text editor block with 2 columns enabled. And right next to it is a banner block. So you can get this huge call to action next to it, and it feels more editorial at the end of the day. So think about what you can really come up with to create things that feel like more like a magazine, more like, it's kind of funny. Like, even though we have this technology, we're still trying to utilize old skills in a way. So if you've seen magazines, people still try to create those looks on a digital format. So you can do that within the website builder itself. So if these are things that you're looking to do, you can design it to create really cool functionalities and even video combinations. You can have videos next to banner blocks and create really cool, unique looks like this as well. So it really comes down to what you're looking for when it comes to stylization and stuff, but these are types of options you can create together. Here's 4 text plus image blocks and square parallaxing. So these are the square parallaxing, so when you scroll, it would do that cool effect and then have these kind of squared off at the bottom. You can really come up with some cool functionalities. Here's 2 text plus image blocks using the text image overlay and then having that kind of square off with one another, and it looks really cool. So that's some do a build options. So if you haven't messed with that before, again, we're going to play with that a little bit today. But I just wanted to explain what that is because some people get confused with, sandbox editors and vertical split editors and things like that. Our system, I like to say, is a true sandbox because there's actually parameters around it. Some of these other builders that are existing today, they go by the sandbox, quote unquote, which is more like, I would say, more like Photoshop. And that's great, but most people don't have time or the energy or the skills that come to building a website in that manner, because then you have to build for also mobile, where our system has that parameters built in. So when I'm looking at it, I can see what it looks like on desktop and mobile right away. And I'm not seeing any issues like a logo floating off the page or anything like that. There's parameters built into here. So that's something that we are looking at when it comes to building the website now. So what that is usually called is like a system. It's utilizing the building blocks in that manner. It's a nice stylization because you can still make unique looking websites without it breaking the barriers, the walls of the page. And that's what you want. You want to make sure people can understand your website and it looks beautiful on all devices. So some other things that we have been talking about, and again, we'll talk even more about it soon, but because we're going to have some more updates, is that font option. So here is the updates to the font engine, so you can really customize it however you want to. Say you wanted this title block. I'm going to actually update our menu font first because it's a little wide out there, right? Let's take a look at it. You can see it's a little and wide out there. Let's go ahead and make some changes. For the new effects here, you can see what you've done. You can change the size of the font. You can change the spacing between the font. So if I wanted them really close together, I could. And you can see if it's been customized or not from the template itself. So anytime you make changes like that, you'll see those changes. So I'm just going to keep it at 90 and 0.2. So when we take a look, I'm going to hit refresh. There we go. It looks a little bit better, a little bit more polished off. It was maybe too wide before. And again, you can do this for all the text on your website. And what's nice is in the future, we're going to have it on a block by block, but on the global scale, you can go ahead and modify the global options. So you can see how your paragraph font runs together. Maybe you want it a little bit larger. You can definitely make it larger. And you can do that pretty much throughout the website now. So maybe I wanted the font size to be 160 times bigger. Let's see what it does. I'm going to hit refresh. It's going to make it massive, but it'll make it where it's easy to read for some people. And you can do this for lots of different, maybe you want that larger text. There you go. You can do it right now on your website, no problem. I'm just going to keep it at 100 for now, but then you can also adjust the line height. So maybe you want things to be more closer together. You can do that right here. So let's just change that line height to this. So when we do it, it's going to be real squished in there, but hey, maybe that's what you're looking for. Or maybe you want something that's more spread apart. You can totally do that as well. So when we do that, it can look like that. So it's very fast, very easy to work with. You can kind of keep manipulating it till the desired look you want. Again, you can go full big if you want to. Let's see what 200% is. This is for everyone. Maybe you're doing really something custom on a page. You could have it that large, but probably wouldn't recommend doing it that large yet. But unless you're doing something stylized, till then, I would wait for the new block option to come, because then you could really customize some cool blocks. But for now, we're just going to keep it that way. And again, you can make it really spaced out if you want to, come up with some really interesting looks. But for the most part, just make sure it's legible and readable. That's what you want, right? So we want to make sure this is easy. So I'm just going to keep it right about there. So when we look at our page again, whoop, there we go. It's easy to read, right? So that's what you want. You want to make sure that's easy to read at the end of the day. So there we go. I'm going to put it at OM. There we go. 0. There we go. So now it's a lot easier to read. And you can keep doing this to the website till you get the desired look you're going for. So that's one of the updates. Again, you can update your headers. Maybe you want your headers to have a larger size. Go for it. That makes sense, right? You can make those changes right then and there. You can see how it affects everything within your website when it goes through adding options. So you can see right here how it looks when I was going to add a header on our page. We go to the builder. Anything that's got a header, let's take a look. This client testimonial, this using H1, you can see if you make any other adjustments, it'll make those adjustments as well. So that was using that H1 and it made it much larger here on the paper. So think about how you can stylize this stuff. Again, you can also do buttons and things like that as well when we're looking at it. Let's go to our buttons, button text. Right now we have our button set to this. You can see what it looks like right here, but we can make adjustments. If you want that button to be really big font, I guess you could, or you could do something a little bit spaced out, just give some stylization, right? So you can come up with some really cool looks that way. And once you have the style you're looking for, you can go back over here and then you can see what it does. I minimized it a little bit, but it looks a lot cleaner to me now instead of being too spread apart. So really nice new functionalities when it comes to customization. And maybe you just don't like building. Some people just don't have time to build. What I like now is some of this new page functionality. So when you click on new page, click on page, you used to have just a blank page, but now you have styles you can work with. and it goes from just kind of like home page looks, but these could be any pages. All these pages could be any type of page, but they're really nice starting points. So if you really are like, hey, I want a new about page, hey, we already have some about page looks that you can jump in on, galleries and such as well, e-commerce looks that are good too, and contact pages that are ready to go. So if you're working on anything, you need to have something like that, you can totally do that, and some others. Others being like a social link tree, which is really nice. Landing page style, maybe you're having like a landing page built on your website, you can have that, or under construction options and booking investment page options. So you can really have a nice plethora of choices. So maybe I'm going to start with something like Wolf's Home. If I was going to click that, click select, you would name it whatever you want to. We're just going to call this new homepage for now. And you could change the visibility, anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and create this page, and now this is our new homepage. It's ready to roll. I'm going to make it our first thing that we see when we log in. Boom, here it is. And it's going to go ahead and grab all those images as placeholders, but you can see that it's utilizing the effects that we've already done to this page. I want this font a little bit larger, seeing it in the context of this type of style. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go ahead and make our regular font, paragraph font, a little bit bigger. Right now it's at 100. I'm going to make it 120. I'm going to keep it at that. And then I'm going to see our heading fonts. I'm going to make it a little bit larger. I want it to be about 140. And you can see what changes that'll come out of that. And then we'll keep our heading to, I'm going to bring it down to about 120. And any video or banner blocks, right now it's set to this, 150 with 1% OM. So I'm going to keep it like that for now. So when we come back over here, here's that one older page. I'm just going to refresh it so we can see what it does. And go back up to it. Here we go. You can see that it's made this text a lot larger in those sections. So we got that. Okay, so now let's take a look what it did to this page itself that we're working on. You can see that the font was tiny at first, but we've made these changes very quick and easy. Looks gorgeous. I like the styling it's doing. I like how it's laid out. I like how far apart some options are. So it's doing what it needs to. It's really coming together already. So what I would do, you're looking at this from a photography standpoint. You're like, okay, well, what else can I do to this page? I want it to have my own work. Well, that's easy enough. If you got images uploaded in Clipboard, you can just throw them in here already. If you don't, it's okay as well. You can just upload them right in here into the block level, or you can put them in the file section, which is your clipboard here. What's really nice is we're going to have some brand new updates coming out for this soon where you'll actually have folders. Folders are going to make organization really, really handy, especially when it comes to styling the pages itself. So that's some stuff that you have right here that you'll be able to customize directly on the pages. But if you don't have images or anything, you can go ahead and start uploading them directly to the block itself. I'm just going to pretend these are our images that I have. I'm just going to take some of these and throw them in a clipboard. That way you can see how I mix and match some things. I'm just going to throw these in there. Okay. So maybe we have these images here, but you want to rearrange them. Easy enough. You can just do that however you want to, and you got the look that you're going for. It makes it much, much on the fly, right? So that's what's really nice about the builder. You can just make those changes, add things to it if you need to. Maybe you want to add this image or take out or replace an image. You can totally do that. I'm going to add this one here. I'm going to bring this one up to here. I'm going to remove this one. There we go. And just keep styling till you get the look that you're going for, Now, in that customization of this all, you can go to the design section. You can change templates if you need to as well. If you need to do that, click change, and you can see the different options. You can add new templates however you want to. And when you're doing that, you're going to be able to see how they style within here. I'm going to go ahead and hit add. And then before you even make it live, you can click preview to see what it does to this page. You can see that it's going to change a few things. It's going to bring in its own global options, own global fonts, etc. But you can change that again easily. And what's nice is once you change it once, it's always going to be there. There's always going to be a memory of this of these updates. So you don't have to worry about like, oh man, I wonder what font that was. What I always recommend is just kind of write down all this stuff. That way you know. That way if you flip flop or change, it'll always still be there. So if I wanted to change this from English serif, if I change it to this one, it's going to have different ones. You can see, right? So no matter which ones you flip through, it's going to change those styles. So if I was going to change it to the Sherman template, we can see what it looks like live. It's going to be a completely different type of style than what's here. So let's go ahead and refresh. And there we go. You can see got our left side menu options. And it looks gorgeous no matter what. So that's what I really like about it. It's very easy to transform this website into something new and engaging however you want to. But it has a memory factory. So maybe we change this to cardio, monospace, or something like that. You could go into different levels of styling. You could have this here, style it to this. When we go to our menu, we can see what it did. It's going to be very different, right? So there it is. Now it's a little bit more modern looking, refreshing in that style. So you can keep it like that if you want to. But if I was going to change, to a different template, again, now this is permanently there for this template. I could add Sherman again if I wanted to. But what it's going to do is it's going to give me it's going to give me the template version of Sherman versus what we've modified. And what I always recommend doing is adding it, right? So we got a new one, which is the old one or the original. But the one that we have right now, it just says Sherman copy. I would say Sherman update, 2023 or something like that. That way you've made these updates. This is your version of it. However you want to code all this, you can make those changes. So we know this is the original Sherman. When I hit save, the original Sherman's global settings are automatically going to drop right on in versus the one that I've updated. And it's going to store that information per template choice that you make. So anything you make changes wise on this version, font size, menu items, you name it, it's going to reflect and stay customized that way. So that's what's nice. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of mess with this a little bit so we can just see what it's done. You can see you can make this humongous over here if you want to, if you need it that way, however you want to, right? It comes down to your style preference. What type of website are you trying to create? Something new, modern, something more like a portfolio. And sometimes that's something that we can look at today as well. Is some people are coming over from our older builders, our legacy builders, and some people get stuck in the idea of saying, well, I don't want my website to have any header or footer or anything like that. Well, you can still stylize a web page to be like a gallery like this, where it's just this, these images. Where it doesn't scroll down this way, but it could just be this. This could be your website, literally, where it just rotates through. You can do that. And we'll set that up real quick if you want to see how that looks. So let's go back over. I'm going to go back to our page builder. And, we're working on new home. We're just going to create a new one. We're just going to call this, we're going to make a copy. We're going to call this new home. We're going to call this one actually slideshow gallery. We're just going to call it that. So you can see. So we're customizing this page. We're going to get rid of some of these images. I just want to have that one that just rotates. So we can have that. And then we can delete all the content within below it, right? Because we don't want to see anything else. We don't want this page to really scroll at all. There we go. Delete, 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 right? And then you can change the style of how it rotates and stuff like that if you want to. Okay. And got it. Boom, it's gone. So now, when we come back to this page, when we look at it, it's going to have this little there, right? Well, we can get rid of that too. There's some ways we can do that. Because right now, it's got a footer, So when you come over here, you can say display footer or not. No. Display header or not. You can turn that on or off if you want to. It's up to you, depending on your page that you're working on. So when we come back to this, let me get rid of this one. There we go. There we go. So now it's got even less of that. And you can keep manipulating it. Like if you know some stuff, you can customize it a little bit more. But for the most part, that little stutter ain't going to do much. It's just giving you a little spacing. And you might even be able to manipulate that from here. We'll go right here. Layout, stylings. You can see, space below blocks. If you want it on or not. You want any scroll animation? No. Do you want a downward arrow? No. Keep customize it till you get the look that you're going for. And it's just going to, stick off that way. And you can keep messing with it. There's other options within here as well. layout. Right now it's full screen. What if you went classic medium? You could do that as well. And then it locks off even more. And then you can do some options like here. We'll go back over here. You can add some padding above it. Change it from here. We're going to just make it a spacer. And you can push that information, down the page if you need to. You can create some dynamic looks with it. You can also change the style. Maybe you want this to be a no crop full screen. You can do that too. You can see how it locks into place that way. So you can have really cool, unique looks that you're going for when you're creating this style of page. If you want to have it to be a traditional, non-scrolling website, you can totally do that. You can create this page, lock it off, and then it's not going to go anywhere. No bleeding edge or anything like that. You can even go in further, like, let's see, a medium version of that. Let's see. You can have it where it's like this, and then you can have your dividers again. If you want to center it up, you can totally do that. Just going to add 2 of those. Let's see, boom. There we go. Now you got it just locked off like this, not going anywhere, right? So you could have it where it's a traditional style like this, or it's just rotating the images in. If that's something you prefer, you can totally style it that way. You can also go through and change the style itself from this type of banner to like a rotating one. So if you want a carousel or something like that, you can create that as well. When we're looking at a carousel medium or full screen, I'm just going to put it on medium real quick. You can see how it rotates in this way too. So if this is something that you think is attractive or anything like that, you can go with this style, create a traditional portfolio style website. I think a lot of people are like worried about going into the scrolling website functionality. Well, hey, guess what? Here you go. Here's the one functionality right away. You can totally utilize it. And this can also adapt over to other template styles. So if you don't like the left side menu, well, don't worry. You can still make this page style work with a different layout. Just take a look at what's there. If we were to enable Diane again, we could take a look at that page. It's going to be slightly adjusted, but you can see it's going to try to do the same thing. We're going to go back up to here. We're going to go back to our design. We're going to go back to builder. Then we're going to go to that page that we're manipulating, the slideshow gallery. And then, like we can see, there's a lot of padding at the top. Well, we made that padding. I'll just move it down here for now so you can kind of see. But you'll move things back up into that notion. So you can see now, it's not a scrolling website. It's like this. You can have it that way too. You can also remove that padding if you don't want to have any padding at all. You can totally do that too. And then with this type of style, it'll go right above. So I do recommend some padding in that nature, unless you just want to have it where it rotates like this the whole time. You can totally do that too. And when you do that, you can change it from carousel to full bleed to get to that full screen. And then it can just rotate this way. So you can create really cool dynamic pages, when you want to customize. Some people like to do the old school stuff. Here's some of that right in here that you can create. And it's just easy to do. All you do is you're changing options such as your settings. You're just telling the display header yes or no. And you can create entire gallery experiences. Maybe you don't want to see this header at all. You kill your menu completely. You could have it where just people land on a page like this. And you could do something unique this way when it comes to building specific landing page types. So let's look at what you could do with that. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm just going to turn our header back on since this is a gallery. I'm just going to change this from a full screen gallery. I'm going to go back over to our carousel medium because I thought that looked nice for this page. And we're just going to put that padding back here at the top so you can see what we did again. Boom, there it is. Looks beautiful, gorgeous. But now let's go back over to creating that page that we just kind of did. So if you want to create a landing page, again, you can create a landing page directly from here. We have one that's already styled for you. You can select it. You can see that it'll put this kind of like a effect into place. This effect is going to give us where you put your logo and then the 3 options. So if you do different types of photography, they can go through 3 different experiences. But what if you want to do something unique with no text or anything like that? Maybe just some banner text. you can create something dynamic that way too. So let's go ahead and create a brand new landing page. I'm going to throw away this one. And if you throw away anything by accident, guess what? You can always click on the delete pages and see old pages that you've created. It'll store up to the last 15 pages. So if you need to restore something, you can restore it. Easy enough, right? So I'm going to create a new one though. I'm going to go ahead and trash this guy again. In there. All right, so let's create a new page. This one, I'm just going to just make it blank. I'm going to start with a blank page. All right, we're going to make it visible. We're just going to call this welcome. We'll just call it our welcome screen. And this is going to be the first thing that people see when they join our website. Now this is really cool because now we can create something really cool. I'm just going to add a banner block and I want to pick the most dynamic image that I got. So what would that be? Well, it's really up to you, whatever you think is the most dynamic shot that you have, obviously. But I'm just going to pick this one for now. I think it's got nice bold colors and, you know, person that is looking directly in the camera. What's more striking than that? So we have that. And we're going to go ahead and click, turn off our footer, turn off our header. And you can save right then and there. So we have this in place. We're going to take a look and see what it looks like. And see, now we have it set up right there. And we're going to modify this from the layout that we had. We're going to make it, instead of a carousel image, we're going to make it a full screen. Get rid of some of these pages that are floating around. And I'm going to hit refresh. Now it's going to be a full screen, nothing else, right? So we got this. I'm going to add a few other things. I'm going to add in here just some banner text. And first, I'm going to make my modifications. Colors, I like the overlay color to be dark. That's me personally. I think it adds more contrast to it all at the end. And then we're going to make the white text over top of it. So whatever your story is that you're trying to tell, this is a perfect spot for that. Button background color, I'm going to make it something bold and stand out just cause we're doing that today. Just going to make it a blue button. And button text will keep white. And overlay color, we got set to dark. There we go. So next, we're going to click on an image. And this could be a rotating image, but I'm just going to keep it as one static image. And I'm going to make it something, you know, focused on Jane Doe Studios senior portraits and fashion. You know, something like that. Seniors and fashion. And then you can add your alt text for the image if you need to, and what your button is, you know, enter website. So you could have that. You could have our welcome, right? So we have that, and we can link it to where we want to. We can make it go directly to our home page, or we can go straight to our gallery. So if you're trying to keep something static that doesn't have any scrolling, you can do that directly from here, and then boom. Now we can see how it styles. We'll go ahead and hit refresh. There it is. There's our bold button. It's looking awesome. Then it would take us straight into that gallery, right? So you can create something dynamic like this right away, which is gorgeous, looks wonderful. You could have it where there's multiple destinations if you need to. Again, if you wanted to split it down the middle, hey, guess what? With our duo block, you can do that. So I can copy. You can have it where it splits right down the middle like that. And then we can change this image from that to go to clipboard. I'm just going to change it over here to this one. We'll make one fashion, one for seniors, right? How about that? So then you can have it where it's like seniors. You can have it where it does this. And then you can have it where the other one is fashion if you want to. So when you do that, hit refresh, and then you're gonna have your split, right? So then you can have different locations, things like that. So you can really create a unique, dynamic style to this all. So if there's something you wanted to do visually, you can create it that way. You can go keep everything as a single landing page. You could have the split option right down the middle if you need to. Let me go ahead and turn off the arrows. I see them. So yeah, then you can have it where they can click and then they can choose their options. So if you're trying to split the website into two portals in a way, this is a great way to kind of funnel them directly where you want them to go. Or you can just keep it as that single experience. If you only want to have that one, you can have it go right directly to here, and that's no problem too. So it really comes down to that. And then again, you can stylize this with the global fonts a little bit. Maybe you want to make this even larger. Go for it, right? So we can go back to our banner block. We can click right now. It's at 50. Let's crank it up to 200. See what happens, right? So I'm gonna do that, and you can see there it is. It's much larger. You can have it as stylized as you want when it comes to the visual aspects of it. So very, very excited about making these updates, and we created a couple cool websites already. So Jane Doe Studios. There we go. Put that back in there. And you can see if it's too large or anything like that, you can make those justifications as you go. So I'm just going to go back to that 150. I liked it before when it was just 150. So we'll go back to our banner block, bring it down to 150. There we go. And it looks awesome. So now you can take them straight into that website. Again, wherever you want them to go, where you're trying to relegate your time spent. So now we got the booking. Now we got a traditional website. Again, you can remove this header if you need to, depending on what you're trying to do, right? So you could have it go to a specific landing page. Maybe you have something going on, like just a promotion-wise. You can do that too. So, we have our home page. We have our welcome page dedicated to, funneling people directly in. What if we want to have like a landing page experience where we have it where instead of going directly to the home page, maybe you are just trying to showcase a promotion that is going on right now, just booking. Maybe you're just having booking right now. You can totally do that. So you could have it where it's split down the middle this way. I'm just going to create a copy like this. We're just going to call this welcome promo. We're going to do this. There we go. We have our new welcome promo page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to again split this page, copy, and there we go. We got this, and when you split it this way, we can create something over here that's completely different, right? So from here, we can modify this page to have, maybe we're sending to a booking page or mini sessions. Now booking mini sessions. You can have something like that. We can make the text left, center, right, wherever, however we want to do it. I'm just going to keep everything like that. Left is adjusted. You could have it where it's like this. And then from here, you can then add information about it. So I'm just going to put now booking. And here you can add have something like that. So a little subtitling, really nice. You can also right adjust it if we want to. Whoop. We'll make it right for now. And then have something like that. Keep it that way. We can keep it stylized. And you can do from here, we can modify some things like colors and options like that. So if we have an overlay, we can keep this at 70. I'm going to do that. And you can see when we're starting to do this, you can start to customize like options, right? So I'm going to change this image too. So we're going to change this image. We're going to choose something else, maybe something a little bit more in line of what the type of shoot is going to be. Maybe it's like this, portraits, something like that. You could have something stylized this way. You can then also go through here, modify the colors. Maybe you don't want to have a gray tone, but maybe you're utilizing some of that blue or something else. Maybe since we're in the fall, you're using warmer tones. You can definitely go that way if you want to. When you're adding those warmer tones, you're going to see that it affects like this. So you can have like now booking options. So people jump right to this website. They're going to see right away this visual aspect kind of going on. And if you have a video playing on this side, you can definitely have it that way too. So you can really customize and make it look, unique to that style. So you can have people enter the website on this side. You can have them do something completely different on this side. We can change that button color. I'm going to make it white, but the button text black. Now we're getting into more of a fall look, right? You can have it stylized this way. You can center it up again if you need to. But it really comes down to the visual, scope again. What are you trying to do? So let's go ahead and have an investment page that people could book on. I'm going to go ahead and do that so we can see the portals and how those options work. Go ahead and pop one in. We're going to go ahead and click on Other. We're going to click on Booking. So now we have a new booking page. We're going to say Fall Mini. I'm going to do that. And again, it's going to throw in some images here. I'm just going to save those for later. But we're going to make it more about our other portraits that we got. And we're going to make it focused like this. I'm going to choose this as our banner image. Whoop. There we go. I'm going to modify it. I just want it to be a static image. So when we're looking at it on layouts, whoop, we got it. We're going to just make it a classic short. There we go. So we're working on this page. We're going to get this going. We're going to make it where right now on this investment page, it has the header cut off. We can keep it that way since we want this not to be part of the website per se. We want this to be the promotional page, right? So this way they don't get distracted on the website. So we're going to keep doing that. And I'm going to modify this a little bit. We want to see more of that face here. Actually, delete this image first. There we go. I'm just going to add something else. You could have it with this image. You can see how this image is going to display. We can modify it. I'm just going to make it medium. There we go. So they're going to come into our medium section. They're going to come floating through that way. We're going to just push this image down just a bit. And you can see it's going to add like a little framing right there, but we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep this image as is. We'll just leave that for now. Add, let's see what would be a good one. I'm going to add this session photo instead. There we go. There we go. So now we got more of a fall look going on, right? Going out to summary fall. And we got this. Now we need to add our scheduled events. If you already have them built, great. If not, I'll showcase how to do that as well. But usually you can just select your options, select which ones you want to display directly here. If you have a category, anything like that, you can go ahead and select that. But we're going to go ahead and create some. We're going to have new reoccurring. We're going to put that in a new category first. We're going to call it Fall Minis. There we go. And then we're going to add custom dates because this is only going to be specifically for the time. Fall Mini. Fall Farm Minis. One. Two weekends. So if we're going to do that, we can have this service, how much we're going to charge. You can go ahead and take payments directly with this. I'm going to go ahead and enable that as well. And there we go. I'm going to do $250. You can add your dates. We're going to add in our custom dates. We're going to do it for next weekend, 21st. And you can have it where it's the full day, or you can have like breaks in between it. Whatever you're doing when you're setting up something, I'm just going to make it from 1 p.m. till 5:30. No breaks. How about that? And then we'll do the next day, the 22nd. We'll start a little bit earlier because it's less time and it's the weekend. We're just going to start at 11 a.m. and we're just going to run that till about 4 p.m. that day. And you can add as much time and dates and things like that that you want for custom events like this. 28th, we're going to make that our from 11 a.m. We're going to make it go all the way till 3, and then we're going to do the same thing for the same date, the 28th, because we're going to take a small lunch break in between all that. We're going to start up again at 4, and we're going to run that till sunset or so about 8 p.m. that day. We're going to try to get that in there, right? So maybe we're just doing that, those 3 dates. Those are what's available. We're going to have that on the event. You have an image that represents it. We're just going to select this one. There we go. And this session is ready to rock and roll and add to that page. So when we go back to this page website, you can see we have sessions available. We're going to go ahead and display a single scheduled service, fall minis, and there it is. I'm going to change the layout. Easy to customize again. We want this to be the only event type on this booking page. So we're just going to select style, and then we're going to go back to it again. We're going to select fall mini sessions and then select the one that you want to display. So when it comes to that now, we're going to go back to that page. You can write all your details about it. Everything will be listed here that we just wrote, and then they can schedule. When they click the schedule, there it is, the dates that we put in that are available for the times that we have allotted. And then they can fill out their information, and then they'll add to cart for payment. So I'm just going to fill it out real quick. Okay, they add the cart, and then you see they'll be able to go and check out then if you have your merchants all set up. But you can see the event, the time, and everything, and it'll take away that time once it's been purchased and booked. So that's how fast and easy it is. So now that we have that page built, of course you can put in all your fluff words, everything you want. If you want them to be able to ask you questions about the event, you can have that there. I'm just going to remove that for now because I really just wanted it about this event. Again, when we look at it, refresh, there it is, looking awesome. Going ahead and dump this block here at the bottom too. There we go. And again, you can have a lot of fluff words if you need it. If you want to see what, if you need to add some fluff words, I usually just copy it from a website that I've previously built or something like that. I'll just dump some in here real quick. Here's some cool text, just to make it look like it's more filled. But of course, you'll put your own context to any page that you're working on. I'm going to click on the scheduler. I'm going to go straight to it. I'm going to go to this session. Just going to add some more details in there. That way it just looks a little bit more robust on the page. There we go. You can see however you want to. There we go. Not bad, right? So you can add all that context, all that text that you need to. Again, you might want to change the stylings and stuff like that. You can totally do that as well. Go up to the fonts. You can see the types of detail pages, anything like that you need to update. You can do that. Item titles, things for the scheduler. You need to update that. You can do that too. And anything in between, Let's make this beautiful, right? So, made some quick changes. There we go. Fits really good. Then they can pick how they want to. So now it's looking great. Now we need to connect this page. It'll live on its own, in its own siloed source. There we go. We're going to click on it, and instead of going to our gallery, we're going to make it go to our booked event, right? Fall minis. There we go. So when we come here, they could either go to our website that we've built out over here, and then they can navigate around however they want to, or they can come straight to here. And it's going to take them straight to our landing page that we've created. And it's siloed. There's no way they can get to the other part of the website unless we add that functionality, but we turned that off. But they can see your session or type of event that you got going on. So with a welcome split like this, you can really create something very cool. And then with something like this over here, maybe you don't want to have these welcome pages visible anymore. You can totally turn those off by just hiding those page styles however you want to. And then it can go straight into that home page. So if you need to turn those off, you can definitely turn these off. So when we go to those pages, when we're here, you can see it disappeared. So it's not going to display. The only way they can get back is by clicking back, right? So Those are really cool ways that you can customize page layouts and styles. You know, you can really make it unique at the end of the day. It really comes down to things that you're looking for to do. Now, I see we have some people watching. If you have any questions or comments, maybe there's something you're struggling with on your website that you would like to know more about, please let me know in the comment section. I'd love to be able to help you. Just focusing on web design. We still got a couple more minutes, so we can take a look at what you're doing if there's something specific. Or, you know, if you have any questions about like, oh, how do you do something like this? I could showcase that. So I'll give you some time, get settled in, and I'll just kind of keep tweaking while we here. So you can do something like that. That's kind of cool too. Again, you can mess around with the colors. Maybe you don't want that stark of an orange or something like that. More burnt orange, right? And again, you can adjust how much the opacity is. Maybe you want more, you do that. So it's more flatter looking. You can have it stylized that way. And again, boom, right into that session type. And then you can have some things that kind of echo that page style if you want to. You know, it really comes down to, you know, what your needs are. So if you have this, maybe you want to add some color. Let's do it. Let's add some of that burnt orange. So add it to this block too. Make the title color white. Copy this block again, just to build it up. And when we see it, boom, look at that. Simple changes, right? So you can really create a whole dynamic website just by the intro itself. So how do you want to introduce people when they come to your .com, right? They could go directly into the website experience, or if there's something that you're doing that they're booking that they can save money on or something like that, they could go right into that session type. They could be right in that funnel, or you can send them directly into your website. So you can create this visual aspect that you're going for. So it really comes down to that. You know, what do you want to do? You know, what types of funnels are you creating? How are you making this interesting for your users? Are you making it captivating and easy for them? You know, there's so many ways you can customize your page, and this is just a sampling of what we were able to do today. So I just wanted to showcase some of this so you could understand you can really customize these pages however you want to. You just got to kind of play with the idea. Again, check out this blog article here about duo building. This will kind of help out when it comes to building the site with the functionalities that's there and how you can showcase different looks and styles and everything. You know, we just did some simple ones real quick, but again, you can really create some really cool gallery types if you want to. I'll just create something real quick. If you're doing something funky, you could have a split page where you have, I'm just going to say fun gallery. We're just going to call it that. You can do something where it's like this. You have a banner block that kind of start things off, but next to it you could have an image block. Go in there. I'm just going to add a single image. Maybe it's of this person right here. We have that. And then with this right here, you can add, you know, different images. So maybe you're doing like a kaleidoscope effect. You could have your favorite images that you want to select or something like that. How many I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can select 6 of your favorite shots, right? Go in there. There we go. And then you can change the layouts. So maybe we want these all squared off. So 2 rows of 3. You could have that styling. You could have it where it goes flushed. Columns. You could have it 2 columns or single column. Right here, I'm just going to do that. Spacing inside the blocks, 0. Spacing in between blocks, 0. So I'm flattening it all out. Then over here, we can make sure our settings are the same. We want to have, we'll say classic medium for now. No spacing, no scroll animation. We'll go right there. And then you can kind of create, see, this shape, right? And you can keep manipulating it till you get the desired look you're going for. I'm going to add above it just that divider block. That's what's going to do for us is going to push down everything below the menu, and then keep changing things till you get what you're looking for. Maybe you want this to not go classic medium, but maybe classic short just works more effectively. You could have it that way, so then it lines up with this shape right here. So now you got this look to contend with, and you could have where one side is still rotating images, and the other's like a pictorial, so you could have this, and then it can go into other ones that are rotating on this side. So you could have something visually powerful, and then the rest of the website below it, or kind of gravitating. So it's really up to you when you're trying to stylize stuff. So you can really customize these looks however you want to at the end of the day, and it's going to look gorgeous. It's going to look great. That's the important part. It's going to look great on all devices. So if you're looking at how it's going to look, boom, don't have to worry too much about anything. How's it going to look for these welcome pages? Well, it's going to split them in half. So, our welcome promo, what it'll do is it'll split those suckers down. There you go. So, you don't have to worry about building twice. I think a lot of people get scared that they think this is hard and they'll have to do it more than it's necessary. You won't. So that's the important part. So, all right. So, well, we didn't have any questions today, but I do want to thank you for joining me. Again, if you want to know more about customizing your website, check out our blog.photobiz.com. Some great articles there. Again, I put that Duo Build one there. That was a really great starting point. If you're just getting started with us, I'm going to throw this article in there as well. This is an updated Getting Started guide. It's got better new screenshots, and it's got new video content that'll help walk you through the entire website. This is really going to help. Allie's here to help you get your site started. So check out those videos. They're really helpful, and check out all the articles there. They're really going to help you get on your feet. And again, you can always go to guides.photobiz. You can always go to blog.photobiz.com/guides to see all our guides that are available. And if you ever need extra help, maybe you want me or one of our coaches there, we can help you. Go to education.photobiz.com. We have a lot of great tutorials there. You can check out our on-demand videos. You can also check out our coaching experience. So if you need our coaches to help you get one-on-one help with our team right then and there, it's going to help you a lot. For $150 for 1 hour, you can get a lot done. I was going through the pace pretty slow today, so I wanted you to see how the tool works so you won't get lost in it. But it's a fast and easy to use system once you get used to it. So if you ever need any extra help, our coaches are here to assist. Check out these design assistance options that are available. Check them out. They'll be helpful for you. And you can also check out our upcoming events by clicking on the upcoming events tab up here. Click here. You'll be able to see all our upcoming events on Facebook Live. You can see today was Ask Me Anything about customizing your design, ways that you can customize it, because you can make your website look gorgeous, guys. And next week we have website reviews, and then the following week we'll have something about Ask Me Anything about email marketing. So really having a fun time building these websites out, making gorgeous stuff. So again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. We can always follow up with that. We'll take a look at what you're doing and what you're playing on. And next week is one of my favorite times of the month, website reviews. We'll actually jump in on your website, then and there, tackle anything that you're working on and get it looking gorgeous. And hey, some people just need feedback. We'll do that too. So want to thank everyone for joining me today. Again, if you have any questions, please let our team know. We'll be happy to assist you. And thanks for letting me show you just how easy you can customize your website today by just utilizing some of the quick features that we have available. All right, see you next time.